Hi, I'm Ben Walker and I'm here with TalkingTracks. So Rose has kindly sent me through some questions about an EP and some other stuff, so I'll do my best to work through them. So this is the Rakes of Adair. This is the EP that was out on the 6th of November, so not too long ago. It is 5 tracks of instrumental guitar music, of an Irish or Irish themed lilt, I suppose. And yeah, it's 5 tunes that I've been sort of playing live back when gigs were gigs, but then when lockdown hit I sort of had the opportunity to sit down and actually record them, so I figured that would be a good thing to do. I've dedicated it all to Macmillan Cancer Support. It's in memory of a friend of mine, Sarah, who was part Irish, and she passed away last year from cancer. So it sort of seems like the right thing to be dedicating this to her. So yeah, so that's the EP. It's the tracks themselves. I kind of found a variety of sources. There's a couple of them which are Carolan pieces, so anyone familiar with Irish airs will be familiar with Tuailh Ó Carolan, and they came from back when I was starting to learn sort of folk music or learn folk tunes. These Stefan Grossman guitar compilation records that you could find on Spotify that had like Martin Simpson and Dick Gaughan playing all these pieces. So I sat down and gone through a few of them, and a couple of them have made their way onto here. There's one, in fact the title track, called the Rakes of Adair, that I picked up from the Cecil Sharp House library there, which sort of this time last year I was doing some stuff with Rob Harbour for a project called The Lost Tunes, and we were going through the tune books there, and I'd come across this Rakes of Adair piece which didn't sound like an English tune, so I sort of relocated it to Ireland, put a bit of a Celtic slant on it, and lo and behold, there it is. It seems to have worked really well though, so that's good. And there's a couple more that I got from this book here, which is the collection of the most celebrated Irish tunes for the violin, German flute or hautboy, which I believe was the old name for an oboe, like a reed instrument. And yeah, if you're interested in Irish music, it's an absolutely fascinating read. So it's got sort of all the notes you can pick out of some of these tunes, along with where they came from, who would have played them, lots of bits and pieces in there. It's fascinating and thoroughly worth a read. But yeah, so a couple of them came from that. And that you can get the EP from folkroomrecords.bandcamp.com. So that's the plug. So yeah, Rose has also asked me about home production, because as a seasoned and in-demand producer, home recording holds no fear for me. You'd be surprised actually. Home recording is one of the most nerve-wracking things you as an artist can do, because suddenly you're putting yourself under scrutiny, and you know, I think that there's sort of several elements to it. One is you need to have some kit, so you do need to get hold of like an interface, a microphone. These things come with the software these days, so or you can use GarageBand if you've got a Mac. So there's no real sort of barrier to that anymore. It used to be that you had to have quite expensive kit to get things going, and you still can. You can spend thousands and thousands on stuff. But if you're just home recording and you want to make something that you could feel proud of, then the quality from this is way up there. So it's the cost is no longer a barrier with that. But yeah, I think that's the whole thing of once you sit down and start recording yourself, there's a couple, like I say, there's a couple of steps. One is learn the software you're using, if it's GarageBand, if it's Logic, if it's Pro Tools, if it's Cubase, whatever. Make sure that the barrier to you recording yourself isn't, oh God, which button do I press to make it record something? You know, you want to be completely natural and not have to worry about those things. It should be the equivalent of just pressing record on your phone, just to capture an idea. So that bit should be transparent. You should also practice an awful lot, because there's such a thing that, you know, as I call it red light fever, and it's the whole thing where as soon as you press the button and the red light has gone on, you suddenly forget what it is you were doing. And you're like, oh God, hang on, I was playing this a minute ago. I've literally been practicing this all week. So again, anything you can do to mitigate that and just go, well, I'm going to focus on, you know, practicing it to the point where I know I can do it, but at the same time I'm going to allow myself to maybe make the odd mistake. I'm not going to over scrutinize what I'm doing, be comfortable with it. Because I know when you're working, particularly on your own, and you always have that thing in your head going, hey, you did that great, but don't make any mistakes. So it's almost, you're conquering that part, that bit of your psyche as well. When it comes to things like multi-tracking and layering up yourself, really think about the bigger picture. Try and help yourself as you're going through it. So, for example, Eri Negrini, which is one of the tracks on the EP, I play guitar and I play banjo on it. And that came about because I'd started off learning it on the banjo. I transcribed it all and was like, yeah, this is going to be fine. And then I thought, actually, I can't just have a whole instrumental banjo tune, I've got to have something else going on with it. So then I thought, well, I'll learn to play it on the guitar instead. And then tried doing that and thought, oh, but the other stuff's all guitar as well. So what do I do? So then I decided to try and play them both at the same time. And then realised, actually, I can't just have them both playing the same thing at the same time, because I didn't fancy that. So then again, you sort of have to take a step back and go, right, well, I'm going to record the guide part first, which is just the chords, and then I'm going to record the guitar part playing just the melody, and then I'm going to record the guitar part playing the tune as well. And then once I'd done that, I then played the banjo part instead, where the banjo played the melody, and then the banjo played the chords, and that seemed to work okay. And then there was a part for like the B section where I thought, well, actually, I can't have them both playing the tune at the same time, so I'll figure out some sort of harmony part as well, which seems to have gone okay. But it takes time, and it takes a lot of iterations of going back and going, oh, well, you know what would the harmony for this part be? Or how would I play it in a way that's complementary to the other thing that's going on? And it really is a sort of trial and error process. It might take a long time the first time, but then you get used to it and you go, actually, I know what this one's doing, or I can imagine what this part's doing, so I'm going to imagine what this part's doing on top of it. I'm going to play that, and then I'll try recording it and seeing if that works and how it goes. So, I think that's probably as much as I can extol on one of these little video clips. So thank you very much for watching. I'm going to be doing the video on the 11th of December as part of SoundBox is doing an online Zoom gig, and I'll be in person, hopefully, touch wood, on the 9th of July next year with Tom Ashworth from SoundBox Live. So do stay tuned for all of that. There'll be links below, to the sides, wherever they're going to be on this clip. Thank you for watching. I've been Ben Walker, and stay safe.